They say a single moment can change the entire direction of a life. But no one at Ridgewood High expected that moment to happen in the middle of a crowded hallway, when a new girl refused to move aside and a bully decided to make everyone watch. What happened next? Well, that became the story the whole town still talks about. Chapter 1. The first morning that Ava Lopez stepped into Ridgewood High, she kept her chin high, even though her hands trembled slightly at her sides. New school, new town, new everything. She'd promised her mom she would try to settle in, try to make friends, try to outrun the memories of the last school where everything went wrong, but Ridgewood had its own rules, and people whispered them like warnings. Don't cross Connor Briggs. Connor was the kind of bully who never needed to raise his voice. His presence alone made lockers close faster and conversations die mid-sentence. Football captain, principal's nephew, and master of intimidation. People didn't fear what he did, they feared what he could do. Ava didn't know all this yet. She just walked through the hallway, hugging a folder to her chest, her eyes scanning for a first-class number. Then she heard it. A sharp, annoyed scoff behind her. Heavy footsteps. A wave of silence moving through the hallway like a shadow. You're in my way. Ava turned slightly. Connor towered over her, arms crossed, jaw clenched in that arrogant way that said he wasn't used to being ignored. I just need to get to room 204, she said softly. Connor smirked. Room 204 isn't here. But you're blocking my path. Move. Students watched from both sides, waiting for the inevitable. New kids usually apologized and practically jumped out of his way. Ava didn't, not because she wanted to challenge him, but because she remembered something her father used to say: if you move for wrong people once, they expect you to move forever. So she stayed still. Connor wasn't used to that. His smile dropped. Did you not hear me? Ava's fingers tightened around her folder. I'm not in your way. There's plenty of space to walk around. A ripple of disbelief went through the hallway. Connor didn't walk around. Connor made people move. In one reckless second of anger and bruised ego, Connor raised his hand and shoved her hard. She stumbled, but didn't fall. Then his fist came flying. A gasp shot through the hallway as knuckles collided sharply with her cheek. Books fell. Students froze. Someone whispered, "He really did it." Ava touched her cheek. It stung. Her eyes watered, but not from fear. From memory, she had lived through worse, and she wasn't running anymore. Instead of breaking down, she looked up, and something in her expression changed. A calmness. A decision. Before Connor could smirk or taunt her, Ava shifted her stance, something she hadn't done in years, and delivered one clean, sharp, perfectly controlled counterstrike. Not wild, not emotional. Precise. Connor stumbled back, wide-eyed, humiliatingly off balance, crashing into the lockers behind him. The entire hallway went silent. Ava didn't shout. Didn't brag. Didn't even look triumphant. She simply said, "I told you." There was space to walk around. And she walked away. People didn't know then, but that moment was only the beginning. Chapter 2. Rumors spread like wildfire. By lunchtime, everyone knew the new girl had taken down Connor Briggs with one strike. Some said she was a trained fighter. Some said she was a military kid. Others said she was crazy. Ava just sat alone at a cafeteria table, quietly eating her sandwich, wishing her cheek didn't hurt as much as it did. She wasn't proud of what happened. She wasn't trying to be a hero. She had spent years avoiding conflict, years hiding her real strength because her father had taught her to respect it, not show it off. Her dad had been a martial arts instructor. Her best friend. Her compass. Before he passed, he told her one thing: use your strength only to protect. Never to hurt. Today felt like a violation of that promise, but what choice did she have? Connor didn't see it that way. When he marched into the cafeteria, surrounded by his teammates, the room went silent again. Every eye shifted between them like watching a fuse burn toward a bomb. Ava didn't stand. Didn't flinch. Connor stopped in front of her. His lip was still swollen from where he hit the locker. His pride looked even more bruised. So, he muttered, "You think you're tough?" Ava set down her sandwich and looked up. "No. I think you're used to people being scared of you." A few kids gasped. Someone choked on their juice. Connor blinked. Nobody talked to him like that. "Ever. You could have broken my jaw," he said quietly. "You could have broken my spirit," Ava replied. "Only one of those things can heal." The cafeteria went completely still. Something changed in Connor's expression, a crack in the armor he'd worn for years. He wasn't angry now. He looked confused. "Why didn't you finish it?" he asked. "You could have embarrassed me in front of everyone." Ava's voice softened. "I'm not your enemy. But you were mine for a moment." Her honesty hit him harder than her strike. For the first time, Connor looked around the room. At the faces watching him. Not with admiration, but with fear he'd mistaken for respect. He swallowed hard, then stepped back. "I shouldn't have hit you." Ava nodded. "Thank you." Connor turned away, shoulders heavy, not with aggression now, but guilt. Later that day, in the nurse's office, he sat beside her awkwardly. "I'm trying to be better," he muttered. "Coach says I've been angry for a long time. I don't even know why I exploded like that." Ava looked at him, her cheek freshly bandaged. "Everyone has something they're carrying. But you can choose whether to pass that pain on or put it down." Connor stared at the floor. "I want to put it down." Ava smiled faintly. "Then start with this, walk around people instead of through them." He chuckled under his breath. "Deal." From that day forward, something shifted in Ridgewood High. Not because a girl fought a bully, but because a girl showed him a mirror. Ava gained quiet respect from students who once hid behind lockers. And Connor, well, he started taking the long way around the hall, giving space instead of taking it. Their story spread through the school, then through town, becoming a reminder that strength isn't measured in fists, but in control, in compassion, in the courage to stand your ground when it matters. And sometimes, all it takes is one counterstrike to set a broken path straight again.